have everything that you're going to need to make your Christmas salt dough ornaments. So we have plain flour, cooking salt, warm water, a mixing bowl and a sieve, a chopping board, 2 measuring cups, a 1 cup measure and a 1/2 cup measure. We have a skewer, we have a wooden spoon for mixing, a rolling pin for rolling, and cookie cutters for cutting. So let's get into it. Okay, so we start with our flour. So we need 2 cups of plain or all-purpose flour. Now we sift this to make sure there are no lumps. So just pop that in there. And we do the same with the salt. So salt is 1/2 cup. Okay guys, then we mix the salt and the flour together. Now it's really important you do this before you add the water because it'll just help everything mix together a lot easier. I did forget to mention at the beginning of the video, before you start with your flour and your salt and mixing and that sort of thing, you will need to preheat your oven. So the temperatures are around 160 for Celsius and around 375 for Fahrenheit. Okay, now after you've mixed that, we take our warm water and start with about 1 cup of warm water. Now we add this gradually. Now sometimes you might need a little bit more or a little bit less, so we just add it little by little and stir it until you get sort of a nice dough consistency. So that's probably pretty good. Now you don't really want it to be sticky, because if it's sticky it's not going to roll properly. Now I've actually probably put a tiny bit too much water in that. That's okay, we can troubleshoot this. If you put a little bit too much water in, just add a little bit more flour and work that through. Again, a couple of tablespoons at a time, maybe. Now after you get the main part of the mixing done in the bowl, we will be turning this out onto a board and kneading it. So it will come together a little bit more after that. Yeah, that's a bit better. You want it to look a little bit like a bread dough or a cookie dough, so it will roll together nicely without sticking to your fingers. That's much better. All right, so that's about the consistency you want for your dough. Okay. Let's grab a little bit of flour and pop that on the board. This is a nice easy craft project, but still I would recommend adult supervision with the kids because it is quite messy and you don't want to end up with flour all over your kitchen because we all know that's no fun to clean up. Excuse me. So alright, so you basically knead it. Once again, a bit like cookie dough, a bit like scone dough. It's really simple. So this is going to make a lot of Christmas ornaments. So as you can see, you really don't need that many ingredients or that much on hand to actually do this. I use the dollar store brand of flour. I think I paid like $1 or something for a kilo, and same with the salt was like $2 for 2 kilos. So yeah, it is a really cheap, fun activity. And if you've got your own paints and glitters and whatnot, makes it really easy just to do this literally with stuff you have around the house. There's probably not that much stuff you ever need to buy. Okay, so once you get to that point, you've got your dough, it's kneaded, we are going to roll it out. So you sort of pat it out flat to little round sort of shape, and then we roll it to around 3 to 4 millimeters thick, or 1/8 of an inch. Now depending on how sticky your dough is, you might need to put a little bit of flour on your rolling pin. You can also sprinkle a little bit of flour on the actual dough itself to stop it from rolling. Every so often just check under your dough to make sure that it's actually not sticking to the board, because that'll make it really hard to get the shapes off once you cut them. Now I'm using these little punch out cutters with detail in them. So we've got a little snowman there, we've got a Christmas tree, we've got a gingerbread man, and we have a little bauble. So these ones have a little spring in the top like that. You cut it out, then you can cut out your shape, then push that out, push the little spring to release it. So what I do is put it on part of my board and just spring it a little bit to cover it in flour first. Once again, helps the shape not to stick. So I'm going to just do that with all of them. Now these are really cute. Obviously you can use any sort of cutter that you like with these, but I'm going to use these because it gives it a little bit of dimension. And I'm actually going to show you how to bring out that dimension later on when we decorate these. So let's start with the little gingerbread fellow. I'm just going to put a little bit of flour over the top here to stop these from sticking. Now by this stage you also want to bring over your cookie tray and have it lined and ready to go. So I'm going to put my little cookie tray there. Also going to try not to break anything in the kitchen while I'm doing this. With my water jug out of the way. All right, you can tell I'm an organised baker, can't you? I see some of those bakers on Pinterest. I don't know how they do it. It's amazing. Alrighty, so little gingerbread dude. Pop him out here. No, it's not behaving. Well, that didn't work. Well, let's try that again, shall we? That didn't work. Might be one for the blooper reel. You know what? He gets stuffed. I'm going to dump him in our flour. Really getting covered quite well. Right. So, cut him up, pick him up. Pop him on the tray, plonk him down. He didn't want to work either. Oh yeah, now he's better. He's a bit better. Yeah. Alright. Okay, now we get our skewer, and this is where we poke holes in the tops of them for being able to hang. So we pop that aside, bring in our tray, okay, and just find a little spot in your ornament where it's not really going to affect the design. So just get your little stick, poke it in the top and twist it around a little bit for a little hole. Okay, here we are about 40 minutes later. These are just out of the oven. So I thought these were going to take about an hour to cook, but actually only took about half an hour to 40 minutes, probably because they were all quite thin. So that's the end of part 1. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you very shortly for part 2. Thanks again. Bye.